Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, and I'm here with my co-hosts Mark and Charlene. Guys, now when we took break, I just wanted to know how long movie versus show.
Yeah, it was a really good question though, and we were glad that you asked it because it makes a lot of sense to wonder, the timing difference between a play and a movie. It was riveting conversation. I'm really glad to be a part of it. Thank
Listen,
you, Keith.
You know what? You watch the movies and you see people go to movies or go to theater. And like sometimes they fall asleep and this, and I'm like, well, how long is it?
They fall
like
asleep
ballet.
Yeah, I hate to break this to
I
you,
know.
but people also go and see plays.
Absolutely.
Right, like they see movies.
I wouldn't personally.
And
fall
some
asleep.
people actually fall asleep in plays
We
too.
actually had a guy last weekend, and I could hear him in the background
Well,
snoring.
As actors and performers, we don't appreciate
No,
when
we
you
do
necessarily
not.
fall asleep
No.
during a performance. Keith Reynolds.
So wait
Yes.
a minute.
But-
I've never fallen asleep. But do you have popcorn?
But you've never been.
Yeah,
Right? I
right?
told you I went to the last play I went to was like the Wiz in
Ken.
Philadelphia. I was
That
there.
doesn't count. It's the
Do you have,
Wiz.
do you have
Come on.
popcorn?
The Wiz.
Yeah,
The Wiz? I think you said
The Wiz.
Wicked.
No,
Oh,
The
not
Wiz.
Wicked. He doesn't
The
know what that
Wiz.
is.
The Wicked.
Oh.
The Wicked. Is there
Not The Wicked, Wicked.
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 Is there a play called The Wicked?
Yes.
Is it
No,
really
it's
called
not called The
Wicked.
Wicked, it's called Wicked.
Wicked, Wicked, Wicked?
Wicked.
Okay, Wicked. Well, we got to move on. We
Oh,
have,
Yes, we have to move on right now.
we have our next guest, or our guest our first guest of the morning. We have Alicia Kelly from White Horse RV Center.
Welcome,
Alicia,
Alicia.
welcome.
Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you for having me.
And you know what, guys? I got the pleasure to go down there and actually do some B-roll of White Horse RV Center,
I'm
and
sure-
it was unbelievable.
I'm sure you got to tour a lot of those RVs.
Yes, we did. Alicia
Yeah.
took us through the whole lot. I was tired. I had to sit there for about an hour to rest because it's huge. It's unbelievable.
It is huge.
And the RVs were unbelievable.
Well, what's nice about when you're at an RV lot, if you're tired, there's lots of places to
There
be
might-
able to sit and
They
relax
They
and
might
maybe
have
lay
some
down.
popcorn too.
Yeah, I'm sure they have popcorn.
I think there was. They have everything in those.
They got
things.
TVs. You could sit there, relax. You could watch a movie.
They had TVs.
Maybe you could watch a video of a play and be
Absolutely.
really confused as to what you're watching, or whether it's a play or a movie.
You're absolutely right. They could. So, Alicia, tell us how you got into being in the RV business. And I can't talk this morning.
Well, White Horse RV is right around the corner, right up the street, about a mile and a half from my home. And I was in between jobs and popped onto Craigslist one evening and saw an ad for finance assistant. Needed to be able to work Saturdays and, hard worker, attentive to detail. And when I went in there, it was such just a nice environment. Kathy, the owner, she interviewed me with the finance manager and shortly was in the door. Spent about a year and a half in finance and moved over. We had a hole in our sales team. At the moment we're a sales staff of 6, so we had a hole. We had an injury and a transfer, which left us short leading into the ACRV show for February, which is our big opening.
Big
It's
opening.
all of the New Jersey dealers' big opening to the season. In general, that's when everybody's they've been in all winter and they're ready to get to spring and get
It's like
to
a
camp.
car
and-
show.
And the AC
Yeah.
show is one of the bigger ones on the East Coast, right? If
Correct,
I
that
understand.
is correct. Yeah. And so they asked me if I would transition into sales. So
Nice.
that's how I came to be at White Horse RV. And I always say that I'll leave with a rocker or with
Oh,
a
boy.
walker and dentures because it's a family there. So I found my niche.
That's really neat. And I got to tell you, you know how like you see something like a car that you want, and then all of a sudden you see 100 of them because you want it, right? Since I left there,
Uh-oh.
like
Here we go.
I
All over the
noticed
place,
all over
yeah.
my neighbors, like everybody has them, and I've been driving by and never noticed it. Now I notice all those RVs. So how long have you been there?
For a little over 4 years now.
Okay.
And it blew my mind when I came in as an administrator and trained to learn how to obtain financing for our
Right.
customers, and it absolutely that first season, busy season following the show, it just blew my mind. The market, the amount of folks, the numbers of RVs that were just rolling off of this lot, and then come to find out that there's other competitors,
Of
and
course.
it's just the volume of it. It's amazing, but camping is something that is unanimous with people, not even necessarily Americans or culture, because Europeans camp. Camping is growing
Yeah.
in Far East, so it's more of a humanity thing, I think, that unites campers. And I think at Whitehorse, because we offer such a huge array of products, we get the opportunity to meet folks from everywhere because we have such a large inventory. So I think that is really what makes us successful, is that the concept behind it is family and relaxation and recreation and camping and fishing and swimming and time in the sun and time with your family, which is what a lot of the American public is just longing for, really.
So I was going to ask you, so your demos really run the gamut from families to retirees?
And
With a lot of
and
retirees?
everything in between, and that's one of the things I do love about my job, is that every different person and family that you meet has a different camping story, a different objective to fulfill, has the different image in their mind of how they want to
Use it.
use their their RV. Everything from pop-ups and little expandable trailers that tow nicely behind SUVs to your large Class A diesel pusher motorhomes. So depending on the type of folks and family that they are, is going to depend on what they're looking for.
Now, you even own an RV, correct?
I do.
Tell me a little
Did you
story.
own one before you worked there?
Well, I'm an Army brat, so
Oh,
we
okay.
really didn't have, I mean, I grew up all over the world, so I grew up tent camping in Girl Scouts, but we didn't own an RV. But since then, a 1977 Coachman came in on trade, and it was just the neatest thing. I liked the floor plan, and it's an old throwback. And the gentleman who had previously owned it used it as a hunting cabin. So he had put roof tar and tieback on the roof of this thing,
Really?
which kind of
Wow.
made it a bit of an eyesore because he camped in upstate New York. So, but the rest of it was just so cool that I talked my husband into buying it and ripping the roof off of it and redoing it. So we
And
spent
that's a whole nother show, too.
the better
Oh.
part,
I'll tell
the
you
better
what.
part of last summer doing
She
that.
showed me pictures of her and her husband redoing this thing, and it was awesome.
And it gives you
Well, it
a
looked really
great
nice when it's on.
appreciation for what really goes into it, and the hand craftsmanship that goes into it. Because like vehicles go down a production line, it's all automated.
Sure.
There's very, very few people
That are-
involved in that process.
Right.
RVs are handcrafted.
And so you can customize them, pretty much.
to a certain
To a
extent.
degree.
Mhm.
How about the Airstreams? I love the old Airstreams. Now, is there a retro line of that out now?
There are. I mean, there's current Airstreams in production. You don't see a lot of them
No.
rolling down the road because they are such a high price point item
Yeah.
and such a novelty item. But I actually, in my time that I've been in sales, we've had one pre-owned Airstream, and I actually sold it to a fellow out of Ohio who lived not too far from the Airstream facility. And it was in 1986.
Yeah.
All right,
It was neat.
we're going to have to take a commercial break, and you guys are going to tell me what Airstream is. An Airstream's a type of one?
An
I
Air-
didn't see one, though.
You know-
Airstream is
you
a
know what
type-
an
You know what an
Airstream looks
Airstream is.
Yes.
You do.
Yeah, but I didn't, was the one there? when I was-
Exterior metal, aluminum.
Okay.
Silver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like a little silver bullet.
It's a blimp
Like a
on
little
wheels.
Yeah,
Oh, my God,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're
All
really
right.
neat.
They're
Yeah.
fun.
We're gonna come back right after this commercial break.
Stay tuned.
Yep.
Welcome back to Morning Coffee. Mark Cook, Keith Reynolds,
Lean.
Charlene.
Chamberlain.
Perfect. And Alicia Kelly. Welcome back, everybody. So we're talking about RVs and all of the awesome stuff that goes along with RVs. Now, I had a quick question for you. You say you've been there for 4 years. You've been selling different types of RVs for 4 years. How has the technology changed in just 4 short years? You guys do a lot of continuing education. I'm sure that being in the selling fun business, that you kind of put fun on top of fun. I know that a lot of the RVs now, they've got so many bells and whistles. So how has the technology changed over the last few years?
We have seen solar prep come into play in the last few years, where where the manufacturers are starting to prep their units to accept portable solar panels.
That's huge.
Nice.
Great.
It's going to allow, slow, deep cycle battery to recharge by way of solar. You're not going to run your refrigerator or your AC on it,
Right.
but it is going to give you lighting and audiovisual.
That's awesome.
That is.
It
Wow.
is awesome.
Think about
And,
that.
and the continuing education is a great point because the manufacturers will invite us out. This past November and the November prior, I was actually out at Jayco factories in Middlebury, Indiana. So that's neat to actually watch them go down the production line and get a hands-on, one-on-one.
Right. And Jayco's huge. They're one of the
Massive.
one of the big guys, right?
Massive.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
the Bontrager family, still one of the few remaining family-owned and run RV manufacturers.
that facility had to be phenomenal.
It-
What was it? 10 football fields?
It's massive.
Yeah, I'm
they
sure.
actually have multiple facilities throughout the town, and it's actually a campus.
Wow.
So it is. It's massive, and it's amazing to see them be constructed. And as from the perspective of being a consultant, somebody who's supposed to guide and educate consumers so that they can make the right decisions for their family. It's an amazing experience to see how they're built and the quality with which that particular brand is built.
So you mentioned earlier that you did a lot of tent camping, and everybody loves camping except maybe me. I'm not the biggest camper out there. It's not my favorite thing to do. But I will tell you this: the RV totally changes the game. That is something I am into. I probably would be a lot more willing to do it if I had an RV. Kind of like the ones that I think that you probably sell the most of, that has they're Wi-Fi enabled. They have televisions with the
They have
direct
stereo.
TV.
They have air
They have
conditioning. They have
stereo.
showers.
They have
All the
all the
amenities of
stuff
home.
It's a movie
that a
and
guy
hotel
like
suite.
me, and I don't care what you think about me, by the way. All right, I'm not a rough and manly guy. I like the amenities. If I'm going to go camping, I
Me
would
too.
love to come
Yeah.
and check out what you guys have over there, because I know that it's not like your grandpa's RVs anymore,
No.
right?
My mom always said that she's not a happy camper, and being that my dad was in the Army and I was a Girl Scout, we were down for camping, dirty style.
Yes.
My mom, on the other hand, she's not interested unless it's a $150,000 Class A motorhome
Right, I'm
with
with
all
her.
the amenities you're referring to.
Yeah.
If she can't bring her makeup, she's not going.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
funny.
So what type of driver's license do you need to operate an RV?
Well, that's going to depend on what state you're registering your motor home specifically in. In New Jersey, air brakes require a diesel certification.
Right.
Outside of that, in New Jersey, you're able to drive and tow with no specific endorsements.
With a Class A, just regular. Wow.
Regular.
I thought,
Cool.
you know what, and just being out there on the lot, and I see some of these things that you're telling behind you, I was amazed that that's all.
Well, the tow is different, right? I mean, the tractor trailer is obviously a different classification of license because it's two separate entities or vehicles.
Right.
The RV is one vehicle, so that's
Which-
different. That's going to be a different classification.
So to kind of just provide some distinction, RV is actually recreational vehicle. So that would be a grouping of all of the different types of recreational vehicles that we have. Then
Even
you have
like-
towables, which
Okay.
are going to come, tow behind you on a hitch,
Right.
which, again, Class A license.
Oh, really?
And then you have
Yeah.
Class A, B, and C motorhomes.
Motorhomes, right?
And then you'll have fifth wheel towables as well, which will tow behind out of the bed of the truck.
Okay.
Is there a driving class that you offer? Does anyone offer any type of driving class for maneuvering these very large vehicles?
We don't, and I like to drive. I enjoy driving. So when I got into the sales end of it, I was told and learned that the way that you learn to tow and the way that you learn to drive larger motorhomes, Class A's, is the same way you learn to drive your car.
by
Just
driving.
in the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, it's
you
by
know?
driving,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely, in the
just
Walmart parking lot.
by getting some instruction and some direction, but for the most part it's just, and that's the fun part about doing the shows. I love working the last day of any show because you get to tow home or drive and tow. A lot of our shows will bring home a motor home and tow a trailer behind it. So I always volunteer to work the last day. so that.
Speaking of Walmart, isn't it
Get
true
that
that Walmart does allow RVs to park in their parking
That's
lots
true.
overnight?
They do. They do.
That's nice.
They invite you to do so.
Mhm.
And I have clients that have told me stories of camping, so to speak, from Walmart to Walmart when they were,
Wow.
trekking great distances.
Right.
Yep.
So you had mentioned earlier, and I want to kind of backtrack for a second. Now, is Whitehorse part of a bigger company, or are you guys a private, family-owned company?
Whitehorse RV is family owned and run for 40 years.
That's awesome.
So
And you had mentioned earlier that you had interviewed with Carol. What's her name? The owner?
Kathy.
Kathy.
Okay.
Where they were the Kathy and Ed Senior are the original Hutchinson owners of Whitehorse RV. They our current ownership. They grew their business and brought their grown children, Ed Jr. and Heather Shannon, into the business, and I guess in their 20s, and they have continued to work, together with mom and dad. To grow the business. We now have a second location. Our location in Williamstown on the Black Horse Pike is our primary location. We've been there since '96. 5 years ago, we opened up a secondary store in Galloway Township.
Nice.
We were there 2 years, and we had probably an inventory of 70 to 80, and we're very successful. Store by the shore. So we moved a few miles down the road on the White Horse Pike. We're back on the White Horse Pike. 920 West White Horse Pike is our new location in Galloway. They now have upwards of 200, I think north of 200 units in inventory there as well. But it's still family owned and run. And that's, to me, the draw of Whitehorse. And I say that as both an employee, like a member of the Whitehorse family, but also to our potential customers or folks who are considering coming out. One of the neatest things about the Hutchinsons and their mentality on how they run a business and run a successful business is they're very down-to-earth folks. So a lot of RV dealerships you'll have to go through an interview process. You sit with a consultant for half an hour. They unlock 3 doors for you. Do you like this one, that one, or the other one? At Whitehorse, all our doors are unlocked. They're pinned back. So I like to say it's like show style. When you go to an
That's
RV
great.
show, all the doors are unlocked. Albeit we don't have electric and lights running, but all of our doors are unlocked, and we invite you to come in and stroll at your leisure, take it all, and of course we'll give you direction and answer your questions. But I think that's a very important factor to how we operate, because we do welcome people, curious campers, and leave our doors unlocked for them to stroll through.
What is the average? I know it probably runs from not very low, but low to high. What is the price span?
So
of
we
RVs?
carry pop-ups
That start at?
that start at $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000,
And what's the elite model, the high end?
Our Class C diesels will sell at 180, 190, 200,000. So, and there's everything in between.
Yeah, it was amazing, what I looked at an RV, and then when I went out there and she educated me.
Probably what you thought an RV really was, and then what you saw on the lot.
Well, it was interesting, when, about the RVs, the actual vehicles, all one. They're the size of a bus, and we were talking about driving and everything, and Alicia pointed out something really neat, a bus, the bus driver's not sitting on top of the wheels. So with those RVs, you are sitting on top of the wheels. So I was listening to you. And I found to drive that, sitting that way, you really have a great view of what's in front of you.
Right.
So, after she said that, I said, it wouldn't be bad. So I am going to go buy an RV from you.
Fantastic. Love to have you.
That
Bring
was
your
the
friends.
setup. That was the setup.
There we go, that was it.
Lori
Lori
was-
told me to do that.
Yeah, see, Lori, yeah.
Perfect.
Bring your friends.
I am. We're going to take a quick
Oh, wait,
commercial
before
break.
we take a
Go
break, I
ahead.
have one more question. Ladies on the Fly.
Sisters on the Fly.
Sisters
on the
Yes,
Fly.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a group of female RVers who buy older travel trailers, retro them
So like
up,
a club?
fix them up. It's like a
Yeah.
club. All you need to be a member of the club is to be a lady and to tow your own trailer.
really cool stuff too.
That sounds like fun.
Like the one picture we saw, an old style Volkswagen Bug, but the way she
Fitted it.
retrofitted it,
Personalized it.
was almost like the shape of a bug. It was just so cool, and it really was cool. It was really some neat stuff. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with White Horse RV. Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, with my co-hosts Shar and Mark, and we're here with Alicia Kelly from White Horse RV Center. And we were just, we were just talking. I did do a visit down there. I got some footage, some B-roll.
You got an RV?
I did not get an RV
Put
yet.
a down payment, right?
Traded his house.
I did feel like my wife I was set up,
Uh-oh.
I saw a soul tag with Reynolds on it, and believe me, she would not admit to me that was mine. But I got to tell you guys, really, and you can pop the pictures up, but and I'll let Alicia take it from here. But a lot of the pictures you're going to see. I mean, I just thought it was so impressive of the rows, the amount of RVs, and all the different types of items in the industry that you could purchase.
Well, the one thing that you keep saying over and over again, you keep using one word in particular, and that word is impressive.
Right.
So not only is it impressive of all of the different vehicles and types of vehicles that they have, the vehicles themselves are impressive. So
Yeah.
it's like impressive on top of impressive. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Alicia, that's pretty impressive.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yes, we carry many different brands: Jayco, Starcraft, Denali. Those are our travel trailer brands. By way of fifth wheel toy haulers, we carry the Cyclones in our location and the Fusions
And
down in our Galloway
What's a
location.
cyclone?
A Cyclone is a fifth wheel toy hauler, so it is going to be a very large RV that attaches by hitch in the bed of a truck, towed behind a very large truck, traditionally for a toy hauler. So the back wall drops down, creates a ramp so you can bring your golf cart, your motorcycle, your
Quads,
quads.
yeah, jet skis,
That's what I was
everything.
in with
That's
the
the one you were in, and then
Sick.
in the last few years, the manufacturers have been putting back ramps, so cable systems on that ramp to create a patio.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
And,
that's neat.
So you
gates
have a little
around
bit of a
it.
living space.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It
that's
extends
awesome.
your living space, and it brings you off the ground and away from the bugs and the snakes.
Cool.
Right.
Absolutely, because that one part, it had bunks up top,
Correct. Doubles as a bunk room, drop down bunks.
TV in there. I mean, it
Right.
was really nice.
Again, that's how I would go camping. I would need the bunks and the TV. And
Mark, it sounds like there's a camper in there somewhere.
There,
with his
he-
name
he's
on it.
there.
This-
He's there. But I'd have to come and talk to you about it because I'm at a loss. And really, everybody out there should go talk to her because, she was talking a little bit off the air about how it's such a male-dominated industry. It just is. I'm sorry to have to say it that way, but she's really breaking down a lot of those hurdles that were put in front of her, and it's pretty impressive. So if you're a woman out there and you might be a little intimidated about trying something different, go talk to Alicia, and you'll be set up perfectly.
But isn't it a known fact that the women make most of the travel and entertainment
Purchasing decisions.
The
and
person
purchasing
just- yeah.
decisions,
Sure.
So.
Yes. So when a single fellow strolls onto the lot and he wants to check out X, Y, or Z, I'm happy to help him look at it, but I then invite him back with his wife, and I guarantee him that she usually is the game changer.
Right.
Right.
The missus almost always changes the picture.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
happy wife, happy life, they say.
Absolutely. Now because you even have, it's not just new
No,
RVs.
she has used.
They have
Previously owned.
Huge
pre-owned.
inventory
There's one
pre-owned.
of the pictures in the lot that's up there. The second one is the picture, of a lot that's all the pre-owns.
All of our pre-owns, and all of our doors are unlocked.
Yup, and the doors are. You can see that one picture. I mean, it just. I'll tell you what. Just walking through it, and at the end of this, when we close out our segment, I got some footage that's just going to run to take us into commercial break to kind of show you some of the things like, marble or granite countertops.
Mark's
you-
nodding.
Mark, you're
Yeah,
like,
I
I'm
know
telling
your
you,
style,
dude,
Mark.
I'm so
go
there.
down there and just check it out.
Emporium countertops. I want the marble.
It's insane. It's
With the
insane.
bidet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
actually do have sprayers in their higher end
I was just kidding.
motorhomes.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Yes.
You know, but you know what? One thing I want to touch about, because I know Shard touched on it a little about pricing, though. And you know, when we were walking out, saying our goodbyes to Alicia, you know, I didn't realize this, but tell us how affordable these things are.
So RV lending, RV loans go out much longer and further than auto loans. And folks come in and they say, I'd like to find a $10,000 camper. And I think that's because they equate in their mind, I can afford a $10,000 vehicle.
Right.
Based off of 5 years.
Based off of a 5-year loan. RV loans traditionally start at 10 years, 120 months, and will go out as far as 20 years, depending on how much you're borrowing. When you're talking about your average family, mom, dad, kids, it needs to fit into the budget. And so if it doesn't monthly, they're not going to do it, period, if it doesn't work in the budget. So you can have a travel trailer, $150 a month, $180 a month. Of course, that's going to depend on your credit and the size you're talking about.
Yeah.
But
think
as
I
far
need
as
that one.
affordable recreation, it fits in the budget. And that's why I think so many American families are camping for vacation, for time off, for time away, for memories.
Now, envision this. There's, you know, the buses that kind of take the seniors around. They're usually a
Yes.
smaller.
Senhon Transit.
Now, what was that one though? At the very end, I think we were in one of those. I don't know what the model or make, but they looked like that. Okay.
The little Class C.
Yeah, a
Like a
little
little
Class
Class C
C.
motorhome?
Yeah, I mean, and that thing was like unbelievable. Like the insides, it's nicer than my living room. That's because my kids haven't got anything yet. But you know what I mean? It's like
Right.
I was
And your
like,
dogs.
oh my, yeah, my dogs. Well, they can stay home. Okay, but you know what though?
But that's a good point, that a lot of folks who own RVs or who are looking to purchase RVs are doing so because they can't vacation with their pets.
Right.
Right.
Because it costs more, because there's hotels that don't take them, and having your own, whether it's a travel trailer or motorhome, you can bring your pets, you can bring your own linens, you can bring your own cleaning
Food.
supplies,
Mhm.
snacks. But the pets are a big draw, actually. I've met a lot of folks who are shopping for their next RV for their animals.
I'm sure of it. I believe it because
Me too.
as a dog owner, it's a pain sometimes to try to figure out, you know, what you're going to do if you can't take the dog with you.
See, I have
It's
the
a pain.
same issue. We travel a lot, and I have 2 animals at home, and I have to have someone come in and look after
yeah,
them.
but you have cats.
Oh, here we go.
Mhm.
Cats and
I'm
dogs,
staying out of this
men
one.
and women.
Oh, my
Cats
God.
do go in RVs too.
Yes, they do.
Did they? I thought you said there was something about RVs that you couldn't get cats in. No? No. But yeah, I tell you what. Look. Yes, I'd love to have my dogs with me. The only problem I would be worried about is, you know, you go to a campground and the dog runs away. But
That's
you
what you
know.
have a leash for.
I know. But people
As a
are-
responsible dog owner, that's not going to happen, Keith, because you're taking care of the dog.
Didn't you just get a new puppy too?
Yes, I did. I did get a little puppy, and you know, she's a handful. But she would look nice in a nice little camper or RV. So you know, seriously though, I thought about it when we left. You know, like I said, I was so amazed, and then Alicia said it's affordable, and she told me how it works, and I was like, wow. I got in that car, and I looked at my wife, and I said, all right, you got me thinking here, because of what I could for the I'll call it luxury of an RV and being able to afford it. That kind of set my.
So you're going to be down at White Horse RV around noon today,
Noonish.
purchasing
Yeah.
your new
And
recreational vehicle.
and like I said earlier in the show, now that I was down there, I see RVs all over, like my
You're
neighbors, all my
watching them
neighbors.
now. You're
So I
looking
got to
for
be
them.
part of the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to start our own Mount Laurel RV club.
Radio
And you can
Vision.
join the White Horse RV family.
See that? That's right. You know. So Alicia, tell the folks out there and listeners where they can find you to get all this great information you provided us and buy their next RV.
Our Williamstown location is located at 980 North Black Horse Pike. We are across from the Farmers Market in Williamstown. And our Galloway location is 920 West White Horse Pike in actually Egg Harbor City, I believe is the GPS address. So
Okay.
you can find any of our White Horse staff in either of those locations. The only day that we are not there is Sunday. We are closed by state law on Sunday.
Okay, very cool.
And we'll hope you'll come see us.
You guys have a
Yeah.
website?
We do, www.whitehorserv.com, and that links you to both. You can search our inventory for both locations or both together.
Okay, awesome.
Lots
So-
of pictures.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I took a lot of pictures, but there's a lot of pictures on the website. You can everything you can imagine. So
So you could go in and do like a search of
A
what you might
pre-search.
be looking
Mhm.
for. Sure,
Yeah,
that's
you
great.
could do
That's really
everything.
helpful.
We try to keep that as current as possible, usually about a 1 week lag time between when we see
Sure.
it hit the lot and when it goes online.
Okay.
That's the advantage to coming to the lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. You'll be amazed, and you'll at least spend. Now, you're going to spend as much time as you would spend at a play. There, about 2 hours.
Oh,
Okay, about 2
ouch.
hours. Give yourself, because Alicia will give you the tour like I did. And you know what? You're not going to jump on a golf course and cart. You could drive around, but you know what? It doesn't do it justice. You really need to walk and look and all the different styles. So, what we're going to do is, for you listeners and viewers out there, we're going to play a clip of some footage of actually us in one of the RVs and kind of panning around, checking it out. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.